Man, did you have fun this summer?
I did. You know, it was a tough summer. I mean, outdoors is no joke. And, you know, I can literally say I gave it my best every single race and tried to put myself in the best position. And I feel satisfied. I'd like to have a little bit better finishes, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's been 6 years since I raced outdoors and can't be too hard on myself. So I'm happy.
What were your highlights? What do you look back on from this summer and you're the most proud of?
You know, I probably have to say the two races that stick out were High Point and Budds Creek. We had some good rides in there in between, a couple mistakes, but for the most part, Washougal was good. We had a DNF there the first moto, but second moto was solid. And, you know, I feel like just trying to bridge the gap, you know, Chase and Eli and even Jason, they were just a little bit on another level. I just couldn't bridge that at all. And, you know, but outside of that, I feel like we ran good, and for where we were at, I'm happy, yeah.
Nice. How would your perspective, just the way you handled yourself, you carried yourself through the day, how different was it compared to when you raced, and is there any part of you that wishes you could have maybe handled things the way you do now?
No, you know, when I was racing prior the years, you know, when you're in the championship hunt, I mean, there has to be a lot of focus. And when you're in those positions, it's more mentally and physically taxing on you. You know, you have to be on. You can't really afford the mistakes. And, you know, you really have to be on it. So not being in that position was a little bit of took a little bit of pressure off. But, you know, I wouldn't have changed anything how I did it before. You know, I was committed and gave it my all. And that's what my goal was here. You know, I've taken things with a grain of salt, trying to understand I'd been out of the game for a little bit, but every time the gate drop was just, hey, execute, try to get the best start, race the best race, and your best is your best. So I think applying things that I learned prior is important, but the other part was pretty fun. And, you know, we had the task of getting the bike development, you know, doing better on that end of the, I think we accomplished that. And then just hanging out with the team too was fun. Getting to see everybody that you know, all the relationships and all the weekends and time well spent.
Now, in your actual career, you ended up kind of pulling the plug early the one year, I think, from what a lot of people saw. So I know the fans alone, just looking at the response, it seems like people just finally got to say that goodbye, maybe in a way, really got to experience that. I ran into a lot of people that said they literally came to a national just to watch you. So yourself seemed like a fun experience for the fans. Everybody watching enjoyed it. But one other thing for you yourself, other than it being a fun experience, did you personally grow from it at all? Did you just kind of get rid of the itch, or, you know?
For sure got rid of the itch. You know, I think, you know, I wanted the challenge of doing this summer, and that was good. I'm not going to keep racing after this. This was the last one. So for me, you know, it was pretty turnkey doing it out of Minnesota. The opportunity that was provided was good. But now it's, you know, we move forward, and we'll be still, you know, have a small part with the team in a small way. But, you know, we have other plans with the family and other career stuff to pursue. But I'll always be around the sport and be doing stuff. And got the foundation as well, so we'll be putting time into that. But, yeah, so, yeah, it was fun. I think I got rid of the itch, and I just, you know, for me, when I stopped in Vegas in 17, after Vegas, I stopped on top, and that's kind of tough because in a way I couldn't wait to be done, but in a way it was like, could I have kept going? You know, you play that with your mind, and I think for me, you know, it's been 5 years later now, but I wanted to see, you know, from not riding at all over 5 years to coming back, is that possible to get back to that top level of shape? And I think with another off season and some more prep, we could get there. But yeah, just couldn't bridge the gap. Those guys are fast, and they've been in it for a long time, and got a lot of respect for them.
Is that a fun motivator for the rest of your life, even looking on, knowing that you can rise to such a challenge, like you still have it in you?
Yeah, I mean, the tough part with this, for sure, it's a motivator. I mean, I got to look back on this every time, and when you think you can't do it, you can. And the hard thing is, dude, 24 motos is no joke. And I think I took for granted when I was in shape and how good of shape I was in. And doing that again, I mean, there was a lot of suffering. You know, the challenge to make it through all 12 races and healthy for that matter. But, you know, pushing it, every single race, and you're digging deep. It's a challenge.
So the last thing I was going to ask you, but you kind of already answered, is you have decided this is it. When I last spoke to you, I believe it was Millville. You definitely kind of threw out the vibes like, hey, there's options. You were thinking about it. How much thought and effort did you really put into it? What was the option, and what ultimately made you decide you're good to go? You're good.
Yeah. I mean, ever since after Washougal, I've probably been weighing heavily trying to make that decision. I think Minnesota, like I said, was pretty turnkey. I could do this season out of Minnesota, which didn't uproot the family. But man, we got 2 kids now, and we want to move and make some changes and do some things as a family and get down south a little bit. And it's just a lot on the family. It's I think deep down in my heart, I got to know if I want to do it or not. And I'm just trying to weigh everything out. I'm happy with what I did. I'm happy with what we did this year. But I'm content, and I'm ready to move on too and experience other things as well. So yeah, I can kind of put this to bed, really.
Nice. Well, I know at least for myself and probably a lot of fans, big thank you to making the 50th anniversary of motocross just an extra bit better. I mean, the Chase and Eli battle is amazing to watch. The few rounds we had Antonio over, having yourself back, like I said, I couldn't believe how many people I'd run into that say they hadn't been to a national in 4 or 5 years and they came out to watch you race. So,
and it's not every day you're riding in 4th and 5th and fans are cheering you on. It's pretty cool. It was cool to see the support all these years later.